Every day you wake up, you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to growth, discipline, and strength, while the other leads to distraction, weakness, and regret. The truth is, you are never standing still. You are either rising or you are declining. You are either shaping your life or being shaped by the forces around you. Focus is not something you stumble into. It is something you forge. Every day your mind is being pulled in 1,000 directions, bombarded with distractions that compete for your attention. And each time you give in, each time you scatter your focus, you weaken the very muscle that was designed to bring you into purpose. Focus is not just about concentration. It is about alignment. It is about training your thoughts to bow to your will. It is about commanding your mind instead of being enslaved by every impulse that flashes before your eyes. The world around you thrives on stealing your attention, but you were not created to live scattered. You were created to live sharp, disciplined, and unwavering in pursuit of what matters most. Every time you choose to direct your focus, you are shaping your brain, you are laying down pathways in the nervous system that decide who you are becoming. If you constantly surrender to distraction, you carve the grooves of weakness. But when you train your mind to stay with the task, to hold fast to the present, to resist the pull of every flashing light, you ingrain the patterns of power. Focus is not a gift given to a chosen few. It is a daily practice that anyone can build, a practice that separates those who wander from those who rise. It is like lifting weights for the spirit, each repetition strengthening your resolve, each act of control teaching your soul that you were made to command, not to drift. The truth is, focus is sacred. It is the purest offering of your time, your energy, your life. When you focus on something, you declare that it matters, that it is worthy of your devotion, that it deserves the fullness of your mind. And when you waste your focus on trivialities, you profane the gift that was placed inside you. This is why you must train your focus daily, because without discipline, your life will be fractured, your mind will be scattered, and your purpose will be buried under distractions that were never worthy of your time. Think of the great men and women who shook the earth with their lives. They were not people of divided minds. They were people who trained their focus until it became unshakable, who learned to silence the noise, to narrow their vision, to give themselves fully to what mattered most. They understood that greatness is not found in doing everything, but in doing the right things with relentless attention. And that same spirit is within you, but it must be awakened, it must be exercised, it must be fought for every single day. Focus requires sacrifice. To hold fast to one thing, you must let go of another. To pursue what matters, you must be willing to turn from what is meaningless. This is why training focus is so difficult, because it requires you to say no, to deny the easy path, to refuse the endless lure of distractions that promise comfort but rob you of destiny. Every time you resist that temptation, you grow stronger. Every time you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your authority. Every time you choose the difficult task over the fleeting distraction, you carve your spirit deeper into discipline. Daily focus training can begin with the smallest acts. Set aside a time where you give your attention fully to one thing, without breaking, without compromise. Maybe it is a task, maybe it is prayer, maybe it is study. But in that time, you are not allowed to scatter. You are not allowed to drift. In the beginning, your mind will fight you. It will scream for escape. It will claw for stimulation. But as you endure, as you persist, the storm quiets, the noise silences, and your focus sharpens like a blade. With each day of training, your ability to command your mind grows stronger until what once seemed impossible becomes natural, until the strength of your focus becomes the foundation of your life. But focus is not just about what you do. It is about who you become. A focused man or woman walks with clarity, with power, with authority. They are not easily shaken, not easily broken. Their minds are anchored, their spirits are steady, their lives are ordered. They carry a weight that others can feel, because when you master your focus, you master your presence, and when you master your presence, you impact everything around you. A scattered mind creates a scattered life, but a focused mind creates a life of power, of peace, of purpose. Every distraction that tempts you is an enemy of your destiny, and every act of focus is a victory in the unseen battle for your soul. Do not take lightly what you give your attention to, because your attention is your worship, and what you worship shapes who you are. This is why you must guard your focus, why you must fight for it daily, why you must refuse to surrender it to anything unworthy. Each day you train your focus, you declare war against the spirit of delay, against the chains of procrastination, against the whispers that would keep you small. You stand in your authority and proclaim that your mind belongs to purpose, your time belongs to calling, your energy belongs to destiny. And when you live this way, when you train your focus daily, you will see the transformation. Tasks that once felt impossible will fall into order. Goals that once felt unreachable will move within your grasp. The noise that once drowned out your purpose will fade into silence, and in its place will rise clarity, discipline, and power. You will walk differently, think differently, Act differently because your mind will no longer be scattered but anchored, no longer divided but whole, no longer enslaved but free. Strengthening your body with consistent movement is not just about health, it is about obedience to the design written into your very being. Your body was not created for stagnation. It was not made to sit idle and weak. It was fashioned to move, to work, to bear weight, to endure, and to rise with strength. Each day that you neglect movement, you deny your body its purpose, you dull the edge of your spirit, and you invite weakness into places that were meant for power. But every time you move, every time you choose discipline over comfort, you declare that your body will serve your mission, not stand in the way of it. Movement is not vanity, it is warfare, it is stewardship, it is honoring the vessel that carries your calling. Daily movement is a reminder that strength is built, not given. Muscles do not grow by wishing. Endurance does not come by waiting. Energy is not gifted to the idle. They are forged in effort, in sweat, in repetition. And as the body grows stronger, so does the mind, because the two cannot be separated. A weak body breeds a weary spirit, but a strong body fuels a resilient mind. When you train your body, you are also training your discipline, your focus, your endurance, and your capacity to carry the weight of responsibility. This is why movement must become daily, not occasional, because the demands on your life are daily, and you must rise to meet them. Movement is also spiritual, because it aligns you with divine order. The Creator formed your body with systems that thrive on activity. Your blood flows stronger, your brain fires sharper, your lungs breathe deeper, your heart beats steadier when you move. To neglect movement is to rebel against design, but to embrace it is to honor the wisdom woven into your flesh. Each step you take, each weight you lift, each stretch you hold is not just a physical act, it is worship, it is reverence, it is gratitude for the body you were given. And when you move daily, you acknowledge that this body is not your master, but your servant, a vessel for higher purpose. Consistent movement does not mean striving for perfection. It means refusing excuses. It means that no day passes without honoring your body through motion. Some days may be intense, pushing you to sweat and strain. Other days may be light, stretching, walking, breathing. But each day you move, you remind yourself that discipline does not depend on feeling. It depends on commitment. Even in small movements, faithfulness is built, and over time, those small acts transform weakness into strength, lethargy into energy, procrastination into discipline. The battlefield of the body is also where procrastination often hides. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll work out when I feel ready. I'll move when I have more time"? These lies are the chains that keep people bound in weakness. And the only way to break them is to act today, to act now, to act before the excuse takes root. Each time you conquer that resistance, you silence procrastination. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, that your spirit commands your flesh, that you were not made to bow to weakness, but to rise in strength. Daily movement builds resilience. When you train your body, you train it to endure discomfort, to push through resistance, to keep going when it burns, when it aches, when it cries out to stop. That same resilience carries over into every area of life. A body trained in perseverance produces a spirit that refuses to quit, a mind that does not crumble under pressure, a heart that stays steady in the storm. Movement is not only about lifting weights or running miles, it is about preparing yourself for the trials of life so that when they come, you are not broken, but ready. And when you move daily, something deeper awakens. The fog of stagnation lifts, the heaviness of idleness breaks, and energy begins to flow like a river through your being. You find yourself sharper in thought, calmer in spirit, stronger in will. The body was never meant to be a prison. It was meant to be a tool, a weapon, an instrument. And when you strengthen it daily, you take hold of that truth. You live as one who honors their design, one who refuses to let comfort decay the vessel of destiny. Every stretch, every stride, every push, every pull, it is more than exercise. It is a declaration that you are alive, that you are willing, that you are ready. The discipline of daily movement is not optional if you desire to live with power, because without it, your body becomes a burden, but with it, your body becomes a blessing. The strength you build in movement is the strength you carry into every battle, every challenge, every purpose that demands your best. Regulating your mind with intentional breath work is one of the most powerful daily practices you can embrace, because breath is the bridge between body and spirit, between chaos and order, between fear and faith. The breath is not random. It is not an accident. It is a divine tool placed within you to command the state of your mind and the condition of your body. Most people breathe without awareness, shallow and distracted, and their lives mirror that same shallowness, scattered and unsteady. But when you take hold of your breath, when you breathe with intention, you seize control over the very rhythms that shape your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, and your strength. Breathwork is a weapon against anxiety, fear, and procrastination because the state of your breath dictates the state of your nervous system. When your breath is hurried and shallow, your mind is restless and unfocused. But when your breath is deep and steady, your mind becomes calm, sharp, and anchored. This is not just theory, it is biology. Every inhale and exhale sends signals to your brain about whether to fight, to freeze, or to focus. By choosing how you breathe, you choose how you think, how you feel, and how you act. The one who masters their breath masters their mind, and the one who masters their mind cannot be enslaved by distraction or fear. Each day, you must train yourself to use the breath as a tool, not just a reflex. Begin your mornings with deliberate breathing, slow inhales to awaken the body, strong exhales to ignite the spirit, steady rhythms to command the day. In moments of stress, return to your breath and watch how chaos loses its grip. In times of fatigue, use your breath to recharge, to flood your body with oxygen, to awaken the fire within. In the heat of procrastination, when excuses whisper for you to wait, take a deep breath, center yourself, and push into action. Your breath is not just air in your lungs, it is the fuel of your will, the anchor of your focus, the reminder that you are alive and called to more than hesitation. Breath work is also deeply spiritual. From the beginning of creation, life itself was breathed into humanity, and that same breath still flows through you. Every inhale is a gift, every exhale a release, and when you use that gift with intention, you align yourself with divine order. Breath becomes prayer, breath becomes meditation, breath becomes surrender. In your deepest inhale, you receive strength. In your slowest exhale, you let go of fear. In your steady rhythm, you walk in peace. This daily practice is not about empty ritual. It is about entering into the power that has always been within you, the power to control your inner state no matter what storms rage outside. When you train your breath daily, you are training discipline. You are teaching your mind that it does not need to be ruled by chaos, by stress, by scattered thought. You are telling your body that it can endure, that it can focus, that it can stand strong even when pressure rises. Procrastination thrives in a restless mind, but a mind anchored in breath is a mind ready for action. Excuses lose their power when you learn to regulate your breath because each breath reminds you that you are present, capable, and in control. There is also power in using your breath to build resilience. Practices like controlled breath holds, intentional rapid breathing, or slow exhalations train your nervous system to endure stress without breaking. When you breathe through discomfort, you teach yourself to face life's challenges with courage. When you stay calm under pressure by mastering your breath, you prove that fear has no authority over you. Daily breathwork is not just about calmness, it is about strength, about teaching your spirit that nothing external can dictate your inner state. Breathwork transforms not only the moment, but the mind over time. As you practice daily, you rewire your brain to associate challenge with focus, to meet fear with calm, to replace panic with control. What once overwhelmed you now becomes manageable. What once scattered you now sharpens you. The discipline of intentional breathing carries over into every area of your life, into your work, your relationships, your worship, your calling. It becomes the unseen force that steadies you, strengthens you, and empowers you to keep moving forward. To neglect breathwork is to live powerless, tossed by every wave of emotion, enslaved by every rush of stress. But to practice it daily is to step into dominion over your own being, to declare that your mind will not be ruled by fear, that your spirit will not bow to chaos, that your body will not crumble under pressure. Each inhale fills you with life, each exhale releases what was never meant to stay, and in that rhythm you find authority, peace, and clarity. When you take time every day to regulate your mind through breath, you are not only calming yourself, you are building a fortress within. You are creating a place where procrastination cannot thrive, where distractions lose their hold, where excuses are drowned out by the steady rhythm of determination. The breath is always with you, always ready, always within reach, and when you choose to use it with intention, you unlock a power that nothing can take away from you. Protecting your energy by mastering sleep and recovery is not a luxury, it is a command. Your body was designed with rhythms, cycles written into the very fabric of your being, and when you fight against them, you strip yourself of clarity, strength, and purpose. Too many try to outwork exhaustion, to grind while their mind is crumbling, to keep pushing though their spirit is drained, but this is not discipline. This is disobedience to divine order. True discipline is not only about working hard, it is about resting with intention, about guarding the sacred gift of recovery so that your body, your mind, and your spirit can rise again in full strength. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the furnace where restoration is forged. In deep rest, your brain rewires, your memories are sealed, your emotions reset, your strength replenishes. In rest, the toxins that cloud your mind are flushed out and the body heals the unseen damage of the day. When you neglect sleep, you do not gain hours, you lose clarity, you lose discipline, you lose the edge that focus demands. The weary body becomes the doorway for procrastination. The restless mind becomes fertile ground for distraction, and soon you wonder why your spirit feels dull. It is because you ignored the very foundation of strength, rest. Mastering sleep begins with reverence. You must see it not as an afterthought, but as a discipline, something to be guarded as fiercely as work itself. Create rhythms that honor your body. Rise with the morning light. Let the evening darkness signal your rest. Cut off the noise, the glowing screens, the endless stimulation that keeps your mind chained to chaos. Train yourself to enter rest as you would enter prayer, with focus, with surrender, with intention. Sleep becomes holy when it is stewarded, when you prepare for it, when you respect it as the gateway to renewal. Recovery is more than sleep. It is every deliberate act of restoring strength to what life has drained. It is the pause that prepares you for progress, the silence that strengthens your spirit, the stillness that allows your mind to sharpen again. Recovery can be found in solitude, in reflection, in stretching, in stillness, in the quiet moments where your soul catches up to your body. Without recovery, you live half empty, always running, never replenishing, and eventually you burn out not because you were weak, but because you refuse to refuel. Energy is your most precious resource. Every decision, every task, every calling demands energy, and if you do not protect it, if you waste it on distractions, if you drain it without replenishment, you will not have the strength to carry the weight of your purpose. Mastering sleep and recovery is the daily practice of honoring that energy, of ensuring that when the time comes to act, you are ready, sharp, and full. The enemy of destiny thrives when you are tired, when you are foggy, when you are weary, because in weariness it is easier to delay, easier to excuse, easier to surrender. But when you are rested, when you are renewed, when your energy is full, procrastination cannot stand against you. There is also a spiritual dimension to recovery. In rest, you surrender the illusion of control. You lay down your striving and acknowledge that renewal comes not only from effort, but from letting go. You humble yourself in the truth that you are not a machine, you are a living being created with limits, and honoring those limits is not weakness, it is wisdom. To refuse rest is pride, but to embrace it is strength. For in that stillness, your spirit is restored, your mind is sharpened, your body is renewed, and you rise not weaker but stronger, not slower but swifter, not broken but whole. Daily mastery of sleep and recovery builds resilience. When you commit to rhythms that guard your energy, you stop being tossed by fatigue and start standing in authority over your body and mind. You wake with clarity, you walk with strength, you work with focus, and you resist the chains of procrastination because you are not fighting with empty reserves. Instead, you are full, ready, and equipped for the day. Protecting your energy is not optional. It is the foundation of victory, the fuel of discipline, the shield against delay. When you make sleep and recovery a daily discipline, you are not slowing down your purpose. You are preparing to sustain it. For what good is a burst of effort if you collapse in the middle of the journey? What good is ambition if your body cannot endure? What good is vision if your mind is clouded by exhaustion? To master recovery is to declare that you will not burn out, that you will not wither in the fight, that you will walk in strength for the long path ahead. Your destiny is not a sprint, but a lifelong mission, and only those who honor rest have the strength to finish it. Building resilience through small, deliberate discomforts is the path to becoming unshakable, because comfort breeds weakness while challenge forges strength. Every time you avoid discomfort, you teach your mind that ease is safer than growth, and soon you become a prisoner of your own habits, unable to endure the smallest pressure. But when you willingly step into controlled discomfort, when you choose challenge over ease, you train your nervous system, your body, and your spirit to stand firm in the face of resistance. Resilience is not given to the few. It is cultivated daily by those who refuse to bow to comfort and instead embrace the fire that shapes them. Discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Cold water that shucks your body, heat that tests your endurance, workouts that burn your muscles, fasts that test your discipline. These are not punishments, they are tools. Each one of them whispers a powerful truth: you are stronger than you think. In the moment of struggle, your body screams to quit. Your mind searches for an escape, but if you stay, if you endure, something deep within awakens. You realize that fear of discomfort was always louder than the discomfort itself, and by facing it, you silence the fear. This is how resilience is born, not in avoiding pain, but in mastering it. The daily choice to embrace small discomforts rewires your spirit. It teaches you that you do not need everything to be easy before you act, that you do not need perfect conditions before you move. You discover that you can act in the storm, that you can endure in the fire, that you can keep going when your body says stop. And when life's real storms arrive, when trials you did not choose crash upon you, you do not break because you have already been trained. Your spirit recognizes discomfort not as a threat but as an opportunity, and you rise in strength instead of collapsing in fear. Resilience is built in layers, in repetitions, in daily choices to lean into what others avoid. A cold shower may seem insignificant, but it is not about the water. It is about training your mind to endure. A workout may feel ordinary, but it is not about the exercise. It is about pushing past the moment your body begs for ease. A period of fasting may seem small, but it is not about food. It is about showing your flesh that it does not control you. These acts accumulate, they build a foundation, they carve strength into your spirit so that when greater challenges come, you are already prepared. This discipline is also deeply spiritual because resilience is a reflection of faith. To endure discomfort willingly is to declare that your spirit is stronger than your flesh, that your will is greater than your fear, that your trust is not in ease, but in the one who strengthens you through trial. Each act of discomfort is like a prayer in action, a sacrifice of comfort for the sake of growth, a reminder that you were not created for weakness but for endurance. You do not run from the fire, you walk into it knowing it will refine you. You do not escape the weight, you bear it, knowing it will build you. You do not despise discomfort, you welcome it, knowing it is shaping you into who you were always meant to be. Daily resilience training also destroys procrastination. Procrastination feeds on the lie that you must feel ready, that the conditions must be perfect, that you must avoid discomfort at all costs. But when you train yourself to lean into discomfort every day, you no longer fear the hard thing, you no longer wait for comfort to arrive. You act in spite of resistance, you move in spite of excuses, you press forward in spite of fear. Resilience is the antidote to delay because it silences the voice that says not yet and replaces it with a spirit that says now. And as resilience grows, so does confidence. Each discomfort overcome is proof that you are capable, that you are stronger than your doubts, that you can endure more than you imagined. You begin to walk with a quiet strength, a calm authority, because you know that nothing can break you easily. Life may strike, storms may rage, trials may press, but you do not shatter, because you have trained your spirit to bend without breaking, to endure without collapsing, to rise again and again. Building resilience through small, deliberate discomforts is not about punishing yourself. It is about preparing yourself. It is about training for the battles you do not yet see, about forging a spirit that can endure any trial, about building a foundation that cannot be shaken. Each small discomfort faced daily is a seed, and over time those seeds grow into unshakable strength, into a life that no storm can destroy, into a spirit that refuses to bow to fear. Aligning your purpose with daily reflection and gratitude is the highest form of discipline because it takes the scattered fragments of your life and gathers them into a unified direction. Without alignment, you drift, chasing one thing today and another tomorrow, pulled by distraction and desire, never rooted, never anchored. But when you pause to reflect, when you take time to look within and before God, you bring your soul back to center, you remind yourself why you were created. You fix your eyes on a higher calling than survival or success. Reflection is the mirror of the spirit, and gratitude is the voice of the heart, and together they shape your days into purpose-filled steps instead of wasted wanderings. Every morning, before the noise of the world invades, there must be a moment of stillness where you ask yourself, what am I living for? Who am I becoming? What do I need to correct? This sacred practice of reflection sharpens the mind like a sword because it forces you to cut away distractions and face the truth. Without reflection, you live in reaction, reacting to people, reacting to emotions, reacting to circumstances. But with reflection, you begin to live with intention, choosing the direction of your day instead of letting it choose you. Reflection keeps you from blindness, for it allows you to see patterns, to notice where you are wasting energy, to discern where your heart is drifting. It is not weakness to pause and reflect. It is the strength of a warrior who studies the battlefield before engaging in the fight. And when reflection is joined with gratitude, your soul becomes untouchable. Gratitude transforms what you have into enough. It takes your eyes off what is missing and places them on what is already present. Gratitude is the weapon that slays comparison, envy, and bitterness. Each day, when you deliberately give thanks, not just for blessings, but also for trials, you elevate your spirit above the grip of negativity. Gratitude makes you resilient because it anchors you in the reality that even in storms, there is still light even in hardship. There is still growth even in loss. There is still a reason to rise. The grateful heart is a strong heart, a heart that refuses to be crushed by circumstance because it always sees something worth fighting for. Daily reflection and gratitude are not passive exercises. They are spiritual disciplines that align your soul with heaven. Reflection humbles you by showing you where you fall short. Gratitude lifts you by reminding you of how far you've come. Reflection clears away the lies you've believed. Gratitude reinforces the truth you must hold. Reflection is the lamp that exposes hidden weaknesses. Gratitude is the shield that protects your joy. Together, they keep your purpose alive, burning with clarity, immune to the distractions that destroy so many. Those who neglect reflection often wake up years later realizing they have lived someone else's life, following paths they never chose, chasing goals that never mattered. Those who neglect gratitude find themselves bitter, always waiting for more, never satisfied, empty even in abundance. But those who practice both reflection and gratitude daily walk a different road. They live with eyes open, hearts full, and spirits aligned to a higher calling. They are not easily swayed by opinion or circumstance because their anchor is deep. They know where they are going, and they know who holds their life. This alignment also multiplies your strength in practical ways. When you know your purpose through reflection, you stop wasting time on distractions that do not serve it. When you cultivate gratitude, you carry energy into every task instead of resentment. The combination fuels motivation like nothing else because purpose gives you the reason to act and gratitude gives you the joy to endure. This is how you sustain discipline, not by willpower alone, but by aligning your daily actions with the eternal truths revealed in reflection and gratitude. Even science affirms what the spirit already knows, that reflection rewires the mind, giving clarity and focus, and gratitude changes the brain, increasing resilience and joy. But beyond science lies the eternal truth. Reflection brings you closer to the voice of God, and gratitude magnifies his presence in your life. Each day you reflect, you receive correction and direction. Each day you give thanks, you multiply blessing and strength. It is not a suggestion. It is a command for the soul to remember, to give thanks, to stay aligned with the one who gave you breath and purpose. Alignment through reflection and gratitude is not about escaping struggle. It is about walking through struggle with clarity and strength. It is about refusing to drift, refusing to complain, refusing to waste days on what does not matter. It is about living with fire in your heart and focus in your steps, knowing every day is a gift and every gift has a purpose. It is about ensuring that when you rise each morning, you do not simply exist, but you live as one who knows why you are here and who you are becoming.